there, how's it going? It is your muscle building coach, Lee Hayward, and I just got a question sent in through the Total Fitness Bodybuilding Inner Circle from Mosab. And Mosab was wondering about training with progressive overload, and he asked me to explain it in more detail. He wanted to know, do you have to do progressive overload, like increase the weight on every single set of your exercises, and how does it apply for compound versus isolation exercises? So I thought this would be a great Ask Lee video Q&A. So when it comes to progressive overload, the whole idea of this is simply trying to get bigger and stronger over time, meaning to increase the weights that you're lifting. I mean, whatever it is you're lifting today, obviously sometime down the road you want to be lifting more in order to stimulate muscle growth and to get bigger and stronger. I mean, if you just keep lifting the same weights over and over and over again, you're not going to place any new demands on the muscles, and you're not going to give them any reason to grow bigger and stronger. So you have to train with progressive overload. Now, how this works is small, frequent jumps in weight. One of the biggest mistakes that I see people making is trying to do too much too soon. And I'll kind of give you some examples. Like someone might be doing barbell bench presses, you know, and they work up to 135 on the bar, you know, they 145-pound plate on each side, and they were doing 135, and they say, you know what, hey, that feels good. And then they go and they say, well, let's do 185. And, you know, they make this massive 50-pound jump. Or maybe they're doing deadlifts, and they, you know, 225 on the bar, and then next thing you know, they say, hey, well, let's try 315, and they, you know, slap another plate on and make this big, massive jump. And what's more often than not going to happen is that is going to be an injury. I mean, best case scenario, you're going to get pinned under the bar, you're going to hit failure, you're not going to be able to lift it. Worst case scenario, you're going to snap your shit up. You're going to pull something, pop something, tear something, whatever. I mean, lifting too much too soon is the root cause of injury. It's just a stupid mistake. You're much better off making smaller, more gradual, frequent jumps in weight. I'm a big fan of 5-pound jumps in weight. So if you're lifting 135 pounds this week, try to go 140 next week. I mean, it doesn't sound like much in the short term, but those little jumps in weight add up. I mean, what you want to do is those little 2.5-pound plates. I got one right here. These things right here are your best friend in the gym, the 2.5-pound weight plates. And if you can, even go smaller. You can actually buy what's called micro plates, and they're in different weight increments. I mean, they can even be like a 1/2 pound plate, so you can go up by 1 pound on the barbell, like a 1/2 pound per side, and literally go up 1 pound per week. I mean, that's great for smaller exercises like bicep curls, tricep extensions, shoulder presses, whatever, you know, smaller exercises, because there's a big difference between adding 5 pounds to a 200-pound deadlift versus adding 5 pounds to a 20-pound dumbbell curl. So you got to keep that in mind when you're training with progressive overload, and realize it's the percentage of increase that you're looking for. I mean, a lot of times when you're doing isolation work, the weight jump is too big. But what you can do then is work within a repetition range. So instead of keeping the same sets and reps and trying to add 5 pounds, like if you're going from a 20-pound dumbbell curl to a 25-pound, which is a huge freaking jump, I mean, it's 25%, what you could do is work in a rep range. So 1 week, do 10 reps per set with your 20-pound dumbbell. The next week, work on doing 11 reps per set. The week after that, go to 12 reps per set. And then by the time you get there, you may be able to go to 25s and then drop the reps down, say to probably 8 reps a set, and then work your way up, you know, 9 reps the next week, 10 reps, 11 reps, 12 reps, and work within a repetition range. So once you get to the high end of the reps, then you can drop the reps back down, increase the weight, and work your way. That works well for smaller isolation exercises where you can't make that full 5-pound jump per week. But for your big compound lifts, your barbell benches, squats, deadlifts, rows, leg presses, whatever, big heavy exercises, ones that you're lifting big numbers, you know, triple-digit numbers, you know, over 100, or probably in some cases several hundred pounds, as in like the leg press. These exercises, you should be able to make 5-pound increments per workout. That's what you should strive for. In some cases with leg press, you might even go a bit heavier than that, maybe 10 pounds or whatever, but frequent jumps in weight. Now, When it comes to these progressive overload sets, you don't have to do them for every single set. Your warm-up sets still should be light, and you should still train with progressive or progressively heavier warm-ups. So if you're doing bench presses, don't increase the weight for every single set. I still want you to warm up. I mean, in my case, I warm up with the empty barbell, and then I just make small jumps set by set. I do that for every single exercise. Like my first set when I'm squatting, I squat the empty barbell, and then I do, probably I put one plate on, and then maybe like 185, 225, and just keep going up in small increments. If you get to the point where your top heavyweight set is substantially more than when you started, it's okay to add in an extra warm-up set. I mean, do as many progressively heavier warm-ups as you feel you need, but don't skimp the warm-ups or purposely up the weight on the warm-ups training for progressive overload. I mean, I always still want to start light, limber up the joints, tendons, and ligaments, and the progressive overloads really matter for the top heavy sets. I mean, those are the ones that count. Those are the ones that are going to determine whether you're getting bigger and stronger and everything else. Not your little warm-up sets that are kind of to get your body acclimated to the exercise and for injury prevention. So you always want to keep those light. Just work on increasing your working sets. That's the key here. Yeah, I mean, that's a progressive overload in a nutshell. If you want some more information about this and just training in general, I have a free report that's called the 3 Keys to Building Muscle. And this covers training, nutrition, and mindset, the 3 keys. And in the training section, we go into progressive overload in a lot more detail. And I actually go into the history of it, how it became to be and everything else. So if you want some more information about this, then I recommend you go to my website, leehayward.com, and download the 3 Keys to Building Muscle. It's an easy read, and like I say, it's free download, free PDF download. Just enter your name, email address, and boom, I'll send it to you right away. And that will cover this and a whole lot more. So if you want to go do that, go ahead, download the 3 Keys to Building Muscle, and stay tuned for my next video coming soon. Take care. Over and out.